Have you ever imagined that? Before entering marriage, a woman must sleep with at least 20 men to gain experience. This is not a tale from a science fiction novel, but a real custom in the mystical region of Tibet. In addition to this peculiar tradition, Tibetan women also face the practice of polyandry, where they marry the brothers of their husband, accompanied by complex and enigmatic wedding rituals. These customs leave us astonished and curious about a unique culture that challenges traditional values and perspective. Tibet, the land of majestic mountains and rich culture, captivates not only with its natural beauty but also with its unique customs. One of the most controversial practices is the requirement for a bride to have erotic experience before marriage. According to local beliefs, a girl must sleep with at least 20 men before getting married to ensure she does not bring bad luck to her husband's family. In Tibetan society, a girl's virginity or purity does not hold the same significance as it does in other East Asian cultures. On the contrary, Tibetans believe that if a man marries a virgin, it will bring misfortune and even death to the family. As a result, gaining erotic experience becomes an important criterion. If a girl is found lacking in the required number of men before marriage, the couple may face the severe consequence of being expelled from the village, a harsh punishment for not adhering to tradition. Brides are often chosen by the groom's parents, typically someone of similar social status, ensuring the stability of the community. In this context, young women do not have the right to refuse a marriage proposal. Refusing a suitor is considered taboo, forcing many girls to accept the first proposal they receive, regardless of whether they love the man or not. This acceptance reflects the widespread belief that every girl must have intimate experience before marrying. In Tibetan thought, every woman should gain erotic experience before marriage, and a woman is considered beautiful only if she attracts the attention of many men. Therefore, finding 20 men and spending the night with them is seen as the most convincing proof of a woman's allure. Only by accomplishing this can she be admired and affirm her value. Additionally, this helps her gain experience in bearing children and satisfying her husband after marriage. However, for Tibetan women, having to sleep with 20 men before marriage is an extremely challenging task, often leading to anxiety and fear. With sparse populations, it is difficult for girls to find men to fulfill this custom. Often, a girl and her mother must travel along mountain paths to search for men. They may wait for days to encounter passing strangers. Once they meet, the girl must strive to satisfy the man, proving she has fulfilled the tradition's demands. Afterward, to provide evidence for the village elders, the girl collects a token from each man, such as a small mirror, earrings, or a cheap bracelet, which serves as proof of her eligibility for marriage. This pressure sometimes results in unwanted encounters, where girls face rejection or the stress of being with men they do not truly wish to be with. Beneath the smiles and false cheerfulness lie fear, anxiety, and guilt, as the girls are forced into actions beyond their control. In the eyes of the community, a girl is only deemed worthy if she has experience and catches the attention of many men, turning this pursuit of acceptance into a grueling and challenging race. This tradition, though long-standing, presents potential dangers. If a girl becomes pregnant while acquiring erotic experience before marriage, it can lead to serious social repercussions in Tibetan society. Unplanned pregnancy could diminish her value in the eyes of others. If a girl becomes pregnant without being married, she may face heavy criticism from her family and community. In many cases, she could be forced to marry the man with whom she had intercourse, regardless of whether they are compatible. This could lead to her living in an unhappy or undesirable marriage, as she lacks the right to choose her partner. Furthermore, if the girl chooses to keep the child, it could place additional pressure on her. In a society where a woman's value is often measured by her purity and erotic experience, premarital pregnancy can result in stigma and discrimination, leading to feelings of isolation and rejection within her community. Conversely, if a girl chooses to have an abortion, it can be a physically and emotionally painful decision. The act of abortion may be viewed as morally wrong, subjecting her to criticism from the community, along with the emotional burden of confronting her decision. In any case, an unplanned pregnancy introduces a series of social and personal consequences, forcing young Tibetan girls to face numerous challenges and pressures. Moreover, the obligation to sleep with 20 men under duress not only affects the mental and physical well-being of young girls, but also carries the risk of sensually transmitted diseases. This pressure can lead to severe mental health consequences, including anxiety, depression, and guilt. Many young girls endure emotional pain when they fail to meet society's expectations, resulting in feelings of unworthiness and a lack of confidence in their lives. The custom requiring brides to sleep with at least 20 men before marriage is a complex part of Tibetan culture, carrying both traditional values and significant social pressures. As modern society evolves, many young people are beginning to challenge these traditions, seeking greater freedom and control over their own lives. The gradual shift in this custom may signal a future where intercourse and marriage are understood and accepted more naturally, reducing unnecessary pressures on young Tibetan women. In the towering mountains of Tibet, where daily life faces harsh conditions and scarcity, a unique and unusual marriage tradition known as Nangma has emerged. This is a form of polyandry, where one woman marries several men at the same time, with the husbands typically being brothers. Though this may seem like an odd phenomenon in modern society, Nangma deeply reflects the cultural, economic, and social values of the Tibetan community. These individuals live under one roof, but the husbands rotate their time away for work, meaning the wife lives with one husband at a time. In families with multiple brothers, marrying the same woman prevents the division of agricultural assets. The brothers live and work together, tending to the land and livestock, ensuring the family's wealth is preserved. This not only benefits the family economically, but also fosters a strong bond between the members. Inheritance is a sensitive issue in many cultures, and Tibet is no exception. The polyandry tradition helps prevent the division of assets among siblings. When a woman marries multiple brothers, the property remains undivided, allowing the family to maintain sustainable economic activity. This ensures that future generations can continue to benefit from these assets without the instability caused by splitting the estate. After marriage, when children are born, each male member shares the responsibility of providing financially and raising the children, creating a tightly knit support system within the family. The relationships can be quite close, with mutual support in agricultural work and childcare. Children in these families are often raised collectively, and they typically don't know who their biological father is. However, all the men in the family view the children as their own and share the responsibility of caring for and educating them. This creates a loving environment and helps the children learn from multiple figures, providing them with diverse perspectives and experiences. The familial bond in polyandrous households is not only reflected in shared parenting but also in daily life. Family members often work together in the fields, tend to the livestock, and participate in social activities. This creates an atmosphere of unity and mutual support, helping the family overcome the hardships and challenges of life. Unlike many other cultures, in polyandry traditions, a woman may have intercourse with all her husbands. This fosters physical closeness and strengthens the relationship between family members. The responsibility of childbearing is often shared among all the men, and children generally don't know exactly who their father is. They are raised collectively and treated as children of the entire family, creating a supportive and loving environment. This also helps alleviate the pressure of parental responsibility, as each man plays a role in raising the children. However, the polyandry tradition can also bring significant challenges, particularly for the woman. In Tibetan polyandry, while the relationship between the wife and husbands is generally harmonious and supportive, conflicts and tensions can arise between the husbands. The presence of multiple husbands in one family can create a sense of competition. Although they all share the goal of protecting and advancing the family, feelings of jealousy or unfairness may arise, especially when one of them feels deprived of time or affection from the wife. This can lead to underlying conflicts, making the family atmosphere tense. Beyond personal feelings, differences in lifestyle views and family management can also cause disputes. Each husband may have a different approach to parenting, property management, or resolving common issues. A lack of consensus on important decisions can easily lead to conflict, particularly concerning family power and responsibilities. Additionally, financial burdens may increase tensions. While the combination of multiple husbands can alleviate some economic pressure, if one person does not contribute enough, dissatisfaction from others can lead to criticism and internal strife. Moreover, the wife in a polyandrous family often faces the pressure of maintaining erotic relations with all her husbands. The demand to fulfill the intimated needs of multiple men can lead to physical and emotional exhaustion. This fatigue may become a source of psychological tension, as she must balance pleasing everyone while maintaining her own health. Society and family expectations can place additional pressure on the wife to maintain good relationships with each husband, increasing her sense of obligation not only to meet the needs of each individual, but also to uphold cultural standards. Furthermore, managing her time and emotions with multiple husbands is no small challenge. She must allocate her time reasonably among them, while also ensuring her emotional relationships remain intact. This pressure can leave the wife feeling drained and stressed, affecting her mental and physical health. The tradition of polyandry in Tibet is not only economically significant but also carries deep cultural values. While polyandry is accepted in some communities, it is not the most common form of marriage. Monogamous marriages still occur, depending on circumstances and individual families. This flexibility reflects the diversity of Tibetan culture, where traditional values are preserved but adapted to the changing social landscape. Polyandry is not just a form of marriage, but a testament to how Tibetans have adapted to harsh living conditions. It shows human flexibility and the ability to adjust to life's challenges. Tibetan culture is not simply a collection of customs, but a way for people to protect and maintain core values in a modern context. Today, polyandry is gradually declining. With changes in lifestyle and external influences, many young people opt for monogamous marriages and seek new ways of living that suit their personal needs and desires. Migration to larger cities has also reduced traditional marriage practices, as many Tibetans seek better opportunities and lives elsewhere. Nevertheless, it remains an important part of Tibet's cultural heritage. This tradition not only offers insight into how Tibetans organize family and society, but also serves as an example of human adaptation to the environment. The values of polyandry still have applications in various contexts, reflecting the diversity and richness of human culture. The polyandry tradition in Tibet, or Nyingma, is a unique example of how culture and environment can influence family structures and social relationships. Though this tradition is gradually fading in the modern world, it still leaves a lasting impression on those living in Tibet, a testament to the power of culture in shaping human life. Polyandry is not just a form of family organization, it is a story of love, bonding, and human adaptation in an ever-changing world. Families consult astrologers and respected lamas to predict the compatibility of the couple's ages, destinies, and fates. This is a crucial step, as a wrong choice could bring misfortune to the couple and both families. This process is carried out with care, with detailed analysis based on feng shui, birth dates, and birth times of both the bride and groom. Matchmaking ceremony, the beginning of a complete marriage. After the family selects a suitable bride, the matchmaking ceremony takes place. Representatives from the groom's family, usually someone respected within the clan, bring gifts to the bride's family to propose marriage. But this is far from a simple ritual. The matchmaking ceremony is deeply symbolic, as it is the moment when both families exchange promises about the future and the connection between the two sides. The gifts the groom's family brings include money, jewelry, food items such as butter, tea, and precious silk fabrics. These are not mere gifts but carry messages of reverence and respect. If the bride's family accepts, the engagement ceremony follows. The engagement is a significant mark in Tibetan wedding customs, symbolizing the first step on the couple's journey to marriage. Wedding day, choosing auspicious dates for good fortune. Choosing a wedding date in Tibet is no simple matter. It requires careful consultation with Buddhist monks and astrologers. Feng shui elements, stars, and astronomical signs are meticulously considered to determine a propitious day. The wedding date must bring luck and happiness to both the couple and their families. Tibetans believe that selecting the wrong wedding day can bring not only marital difficulties, but also misfortune and illness to the family. Relatives and friends from far and wide are invited to gather, and everyone comes together to dance, sing, and drink beer to celebrate and offer their blessings. Typically, 3 to 6 months after the wedding, the newlyweds visit the bride's parents. The bride's procession, a journey to happiness. On the wedding day, the groom's family arrives at the bride's home in a joyful yet solemn atmosphere. The bride is escorted to her new home with family, friends, and the community surrounding her. At the groom's home, a formal ceremony is held, often involving bowing before a Buddhist altar or going to a temple to pray. This symbolizes the wish for blessings from deities and protection from Buddhism, ensuring a harmonious and happy married life for the couple. After paying respects to the Buddha, the bride and groom drink chang, a traditional Tibetan barley wine. This is an essential part of the wedding, symbolizing the couple's promise to stay together and face life's challenges together. Wedding attire, the essence of Tibetan culture. If you have the chance to attend a Tibetan wedding, you'll be captivated at first sight by the traditional wedding attire. The bride usually wears a chuba, a traditional long robe made of silk or wool, with delicate designs. The bride's jewelry is a significant highlight, featuring items made of silver, gold, and precious stones like coral and turquoise. Each piece of jewelry holds deep meaning, not just for adornment but also symbolizing luck, wealth, and social status. The groom also wears a chuba, paired with a white kadag scarf, symbolizing purity and reverence. The sight of the couple dressed in traditional attire under the sunlight of the Tibetan plateau creates a sacred and beautiful scene. Wedding gifts, deep meanings in every offering. In Tibetan weddings, gifts are a crucial element, representing the groom's family's sincerity towards the bride's family. The gifts often include food such as yak butter, tea, and traditional bread, along with clothing and jewelry. These items are not only of material value but also convey messages of prosperity and happiness for the couple. Guests at the wedding also bring gifts for the newlyweds. These presents are not just material offerings but carry great spiritual significance, as they express blessings for a fulfilling and happy married life. Wedding feast, a community celebration. After the formal ceremony, a large wedding feast is held with family, friends, and the entire community. Tibetan wedding celebrations are filled with laughter, singing, and dancing. Guests share traditional food, dance to Tibetan folk tunes, and sing songs filled with good wishes. The importance of Buddhism in marriage. What makes Tibetan marriage unique is the deep connection between all customs and Buddhism. Tibetans believe that marital life requires the protection of deities and prayers from monks. Therefore, everything from choosing the wedding day, bowing before the Buddha during the ceremony, to drinking chang carries profound spiritual meaning, ensuring the couple's life will be peaceful and happy. Modern context. In modern times, many traditional Tibetan wedding customs have changed. Today's weddings may not be as heavily focused on ritual as before, but the core values remain. Many modern couples opt for smaller, more economical weddings, but still retain the essential spiritual elements. Cultural and religious values continue to play a foundational role, bridging tradition and modernity. Through Tibetan wedding ceremonies and customs, we can clearly see a vivid and profound cultural picture. Each ritual carries not only cultural significance, but also sacred spiritual values, passed down through generations. Weddings are not just about love, but also about connecting families, communities, and the divine. Tibet, with its mystical and fascinating wedding customs, presents a powerful allure for anyone wanting to explore this unique culture. Delving into Tibetan weddings is not only an adventure in a rich cultural heritage, but also a journey into a world of fascinating spiritual and religious values. In Tibet, marriage is not the story of romantic love, often portrayed in movies. For them, marriage is a collective decision, made by families and often arranged at an early age. According to Tibetan tradition, parents arranging marriages for their children is the societal norm. Matchmaking is an integral part of the Tibetan marriage process. When a young man reaches marriageable age, his family begins the search for a suitable bride. But this is not a random search. In Tibetan nomadic communities, intercourse relationships and marriage are more flexible compared to settled areas. The harsh natural conditions and the frequent movement to find food and water for livestock have shaped these customs, focusing on maintaining the stability and growth of small communities. With small populations and urgent survival needs, marriage is not only for love but also for the survival of the community. Erotic relationships are not tightly controlled. Instead, they are flexible to ensure the sustainable development of the community. Decisions about marriage often relate to the need to maintain population numbers and ensure the group's stability. Marriages here are typically established with a survival goal rather than rigid moral rules. Additionally, premarital copulation is widely accepted. This allows young people the opportunity to experience romantic relationships, helping them choose suitable partners. Erotic freedom before marriage is not seen as taboo, in contrast to settled societies that have stricter rules. Marriage is not just a personal issue but also carries economic and social significance. It helps forge alliances between families, reinforcing the support and cooperation necessary for the survival of the entire community. Marriages are sometimes arranged to enhance strength and power among families. Tibetan women play a vital role in the family and community, responsible for caring for livestock, producing food, and raising children. They have the freedom to choose their partners and engage in premarital erotic relationships without facing significant societal pressure. This reflects the flexibility and adaptability of nomadic communities to their harsh living environments. Intimated relationships and marriage in Tibetan nomadic communities are built on the foundations of flexibility and adaptability. Rather than being bound by rigid social rules, they are adjusted to serve the survival needs and maintain the stability of the community in challenging living conditions. Tibet, a land of majestic mountains and ancient Buddhist culture, impresses not only with its stunning natural landscapes but also with its mysterious and unusual wedding customs. The peculiar wedding traditions in Tibet, from women needing to sleep with 20 men before marriage to the practice of polyandry closely tied to family life, provide deep insights into a rich and hidden culture. These rituals not only serve as a system of communication but also reflect how Tibetans adapt and maintain balance within their society and families. Despite their striking appearance, these rituals symbolize the close connections between individuals, families, and the divine, highlighting the diverse and vibrant tapestry of Tibetan culture.